right?
No, I can't. I have to have this open, ready to play.
All right, you're just going to have me up. All right.
Yep.
Tell me when we're live.
All right, we are live on StreamYard.
All right. Cole, they can't see you just yet, even though you're getting a freaking Italian love fest going. They can sure see me. Coming up in 55 seconds, Conor Zillisch is going to be in here. A little advice from Kyle Busch. No, he gives Kyle Busch advice. Do you know that?
Conor Zillisch gives Kyle Busch advice.
Yeah, Kyle Busch went to Conor Zillisch for some advice. That'll be coming up here in the show. Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Is that wild and crazy?
Insane.
Good to have Cole Cusimano back here in the Freak Nation.
Yep.
Man. I tell you, my sister asked, is he a sick individual?
You know what's funny? I really am not. And that's why I was so mad.
Right.
Honestly, I never get sick.
15 seconds.
Okay. All right, here we go. 12 seconds, yo, and then we are live across the Freak Radio Network and every other media outlet on the planet there, freaks. 3, 2, 1.
I mean, come on now. Let's have a little bit of consistency to our reporting.
Nobody has asked me for advice. Kyle Busch, I was talking to him before the race at COTA, and he was asking for advice for his kid.
They know to back off and how to tune the car a little differently. It's the Megan tune.
We gotta tune it with the throttle pedal.
Please hang up and try again.
Freak Radio Network, broadcasting from the Lucas Oil Studios. Driven by General Tire.
Rock on, baby!
It's Speed Freaks. Motorsports Radio redefined with Kenny Sargent.
We love to party.
Crash Gladys.
What are we doing for the bachelorette party?
Here's the Freaks.
Freak Nation, did you hear the announcement last week? We are now part of Racer Network. Racer Network comes in and purchases MAV TV, MAV TV Go, and now it's the Racer Network. And Speed Freaks are proud partners to be with Racer Network. So be sure you follow them all their socials. You'll see their name changing, of course, on all of your internets. You'll see their name changing on all of your Hulus, all of your YouTube TVs. But regardless, we are happy to be a part of Racer Network here from the Lucas Oil Studios. Cole Cusimano, he's here. Crash Gladys hanging out just outside of Martinsville. We've got a different experiment here, and I don't need to go too inside baseball here, Freak Nation, before we get to the Nap Fest with NASCAR in Martinsville. Crasher is on remote via a different technological experiment. We're just hoping that she can make it. She is centered properly between her Hilton lights on each cabinet there, Crasher. Nice job centering yourself there on the camera.
Honestly, that's the way the room is set up. I did nothing. I just turned them on. This clearly is a room that has been used for a purpose like this before, a national motorsports radio show. Maybe this was my room last year, and they just reset it up for me. I can't remember.
So are you in Roanoke? Is that where you are?
I am, yes.
What time are you flying
and
out?
Allegedly...
All right, go ahead.
Let's not talk about that right now because I don't know if I'm sleeping tonight. I think I'm staying up for the next couple of hours and just going straight to my flight. But allegedly, we're an hour away from the Martinsville Speedway. And this place, I found out when I walked in today that I overheard the bartender saying that they're out of tequila.
Ooh.
They're out of a couple of wines. And so I kind of looked over. I said, what was going on? She said, oh, last night, all those race fans. And then she looked at me. I had my Lucas Oil lanyard on. And she's like, oh, you would know. I go, I work. I'm not playing this weekend. I'm working.
All right.
But this little hotel here in Roanoke, this little Hilton, ran out of some alcohol because of the race fans. Atta boys and girls.
Love to see it. Love to hear it.
Freak Nation, Conor Zillisch coming up here in the Freak Nation. We'll hear from your Martinsville winner. I still think it's Denny Hamlin. Nobody, as far as we know. Well, there was one driver that was penalized. We'll get to that coming up in the show. As far as we know, Denny Hamlin has not been penalized yet for his race win. Also coming up at the show, Rico Abreu, just a badass sprint car pilot who we caught up with here in Arizona racing. What the hell is it? Central, what was the track?
Central Arizona Raceway in Casa Grande.
Can they not get a more creative freaking name than
Big
Central?
house, baby. Come on.
But the acronym's CAR. Does it get better than that?
Yes.
It does? All right.
Yeah, because I'm a freaking brilliant individual. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, that's cool. Come on, that's cool.
You headed to the car? It sounds like it's from 1978. You going to the car to see some sprint cars, some high-limit racing dog? Go.
Speaking of dogs, can I ask Crash the one thing that we're all dying to know? How many Martinsville hot dogs did you have at the Speedway?
That would be
Sweet.
0.
Nil.
Oh, man.
Yeah. The hell did you
I
guys...
know. I had 3 last year, and I just decided, you know what? I'm cool. I've had them. I'm not a huge hot dog connoisseur anyway, so I thought, I did it last year. I'm cool. I don't need them anymore. I mean, they are boiled nicely, and when you take that first bite, it pops. And then the rest of it, to me, was just like, okay, it's a hot dog. I know that's sacrilege to say, but a lot of people rave for them. To me, it was just another hot dog.
Nothing better than a woman talking about biting into a hot dog and it pops. That's how we roll here in the Freak Nation. Oh, thank you for asking that there, Cole Cusimano. I don't want her coming home after 3 or 4 dogs because I'm going to be the beneficiary of her going back and forth between upstairs and downstairs crappers, my friend, when she's offloading those freaking rectum rockets.
Oh, man.
That is the nickname of them.
Yeah, don't act like
very,
I was...
Oh, I know that. I didn't know that. Damn.
Yeah. Yeah. They're very bright pink. Actually, okay, so we were hanging a lot of this weekend with Kyle Busch, and the guy that does his social, appropriately named Lucas, he, as I'm doing an interview with Kyle earlier today, he brings the bag by, and I said, what do you have there? He goes, oh, hot dogs, of course. He pulls out 2 hot dogs, just sits on the golf cart, starts eating them, and I'm like, wow, those are bright pink. He's like, I know, aren't they great?
Oh, we have done a disservice to the Martinsville dogs. We have not made them pleasurable at all to the ear nor the eye if you're watching us or listening to us on the Freak Radio Network. Pink.
Can we just
they
please
pop.
pass-
They boil them
No.
properly.
Listen, this was drivers. When we first started Speed Freaks 25 years ago, I would say it was maybe 23 years ago, that drivers would just rail on these dogs. They were the ones that appropriately named them rectum rockets because they apparently came in as easy as they went out.
Yeah.
I liked them last year, just I'm not a hot dog connoisseur, so they were just hot dogs to me.
I think it was Corey LaJoie's old man that might have actually, I don't know if he invented that word, but back in the day, what's Randy LaJoie? Yeah, I think
Randy?
when we had Randy on back in the early 2000s, he was talking about the rectum rockets. Hey, welcome Racer Network, right?
A warm welcome.
Look, everybody there at Racer, we know them well. They know us well. They know what they're getting into when they bring the Freak Nation in here. Also coming up, IndyCar Series pilot Graham Rahal. Graham Rahal, and if you follow motorsports, in particular IndyCar, Jenna Fryer with the Associated Press and Nathan Brown, who covers motorsports and more specifically, more IndyCar than anything else for the Indianapolis Star, they got after it. Well, they were voicing their opinion about the thermal race, the ratings, the racing, numerous things. So what we wanted to do, and then Graham Rahal went after him on Twitter, as the kids call it nowadays, X. We're bringing Graham Rahal in here to talk about some of the issues that he has, not just with Nathan, but with media in general. I'm pointing the finger at me too. And things that we have to say. Graham Rahal, as I say in the interview, there's things I don't agree with him on. But to bring him in, and why? And we ask him this question, why are there no other freaking drivers speaking up? It's only Graham. He said Connor Daly will speak up, but none of the other freaking pretty boys are. How's it going?
Pretty boys?
Yeah.
What? Come on.
Yeah. So Graham Rahal will be here in the Freak Nation. 8 minutes in the show. We haven't talked much about Martinsville, which probably will lead you to where we're going with the show. Not a much. Give me some Italian.
Not a much.
There we go. Cole Cusimano, I'm sorry that you had to. Did you miss the last part of that show last part of that race driving here to the studio?
No, actually, this race went by quick enough to where I could actually finish it before heading over here. So I got to witness all 400 laps of that amazing, fantastic, enthralling race at Martinsville.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a good one. Real good one.
And Crasher, you're there in Roanoke. I'm upstairs doing some editing. I know you guys were chatting about this. And I know Jeff Gluck doesn't release his poll until what, tomorrow?
Monday.
But from what you've seen so far, I still bet it's going to be 63%. It was a great race. You don't seem to think so.
I definitely don't think so. I think Denny winning will factor into that, but it was a classic like next-gen short track race to where there's not a whole lot of passing going on. We'll get into that later on, I guess, with the analysis of the race. But
right.
I think him winning will not do it any favors, and just in general, the product on track will not help their cause at all. My voice and opinion was 47% for that.
Yeah. Oh, so you don't think even 50%?
No.
Yeah, here's what Jeff Gluck put this out. Him and his co-host Jordan Bianchi on the teardown, they put out their over/under percentages, and they said for the teardown, I made my poll guess 46.7%. Jordan allegedly said 45%, and I scrolled through the comments, and here's a few. Said no way it's below 60%. Said somebody. I'd probably say 60 to 55 range. What do these people watch, dude? Like, goodness sake, how in the world are you going to give that a thumbs up of a race? Our guy behind the scenes, Cody, garnered up some statistics, which I don't think we have time to get to in this segment. We might get to a little bit later. And he compiled all the polls at Martinsville over the last several years. and here I want to put an over/under on that too. But we'll get to that in a little bit. I think you'll be surprised at the worst Martinsville race and what it scored on the Jeff Gluck poll.
Oh,
yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit.
Nice tease. Nice tease.
Maybe next segment.
When the Gladiators minus the Machetes on Saturday night in the Xfinity Series race sets a precedent with some really S-box driving, specifically those last 10, 15 laps. Actually, you know what? I say that because that's when I tuned in. Sorry. It's great to hear that a lot of people feel the same way I do about that race. And what Sammy Smith did to, gosh, I know every Gray member there is. Taylor or Tanner? Taylor. Okay. What Taylor Gray did at the end of the race, actually, we have that footage. Are we going to show the footage at all, you think? No, we don't have it. No.
Yeah, I think I have it ready at some point, but we're running out of time here.
I'm surprised Gray didn't go over there and actually try and jump Sammy Smith, because he knew that there were going to be security all around that guy. He knew it. So when the Xfinity Series set it up with just a gnarly freaking ending of the race, it was going to be tough for NASCAR to top that no matter what they tried, and they certainly didn't do it as far as garnering attention, positive or negative, regardless. So we'll get to some of that. We'll hear from your race winner in Martinsville, Denny Hamlin, also Graham Rahal, Rico Abreu, and Conor Zillisch coming up. Speed Freaks Pits, Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
As your power steering pump ages, seal leaks may occur, causing the power steering system to lose fluid. Your power steering system may also develop an annoying squeal, and the steering may become more difficult to handle. By using Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak, you will stop the seal leaks, reduce slack in rack and pinion, eliminate the squeals and hard spots in your power steering system. It is guaranteed to stop seal leaks or your money back. Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak. It works.
Well, Freak Nation, it's that time of the year when General Tire would like to hand you some cold, hard cash. Now through the end of April, purchase a set of 4 qualifying passenger tires from General Tire and get up to $80 back on a Visa prepaid card. Plus, if you purchase the 4 qualifying passenger tires with your General Tire credit card, you can get up to an additional $80 added to your Visa prepaid card. For more information, hit them up, GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire of Speed Freaks for over 2 decades.
Lowe's knows that your deadlines don't change, even when your job does. But with Lowe's Buy Online, Pick Up in Store, we'll help you adjust on the fly. And when you absolutely can't leave the project, we can deliver to your job site as soon as same day. Lowe's knows pros. We help, you save. Valid on eligible in-stock orders and select zip codes placed by 2 p.m. for same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. More terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Walk among us, but at 240 miles per hour, they become something more. They're thrill seekers, risk takers, and maybe just a little bit unhinged. Buckle up. This new era of speed, this racing revolution, it's just getting started.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Oh, Freak Nation. This segment brought to you by good friends at Lucas Oil. The website is lucasoil.com to find a line of products to keep that engine in one of your 3 or 4 cars. You got one car, you just want to keep it on the road for about 150,000 miles. Why not 200? Then go with lucasoil.com. For more information, go to lucasoil.com to keep the inside of that engine fat and happy. That's lucasoil.com. Coming up in moments, Denny Hamlin will be joining us, Conor Zillisch, Rico Abreu, and Graham Rahal here in the Freak Nation. Cole Cusimano was kind enough to stay awake long enough through the Denny Hamlin post-race press conference at Martinsville. And Cole Cusimano hit us up with some, I'm sure, exciting Denny Hamlin post-race news.
Yeah, Denny actually had some really good things to say post-race following that, his 6th win now at Martinsville. This first one is him just talking about breaking through finally and getting that first win at Martinsville in 10 years at the paperclip.
Certainly felt like the old days. I mean, just they did such a great job with the car, and we spoke about trying to do something a little different this time around to try to get better. We've just been kind of stuck in a rut really over the last 3 years or so. The fall of 22 is the last kind of dominant car I thought I had at this racetrack. And, so since then, just kind of been hanging around 3rd to 5th. And, we were always the next best behind the 12 and then, a couple Hendrick cars. And so we came with something different, just trying to get better and obviously turn back the clock.
44-year-old Denny Hamlin. When we started Speed Freaks 25 years ago, do the math, Freak Nation, can you? 19 years old was Denny Hamlin. Now he's the old man. The old man of the series. Cole, what else you got from Denny Hamlin?
Yeah, so this was my personal favorite quote of the presser. So Bob Pockrass of Fox Sports asked if the haters fuel or motivate him to continue winning and breaking records. So here's what he had to say.
It's just, that's me. Go shoot hoops with me, go play pickleball with me, go play golf with me. If I can't talk, then it takes away my superpower. It really does. I'm not nearly as good. My friends, it drives them absolutely crazy, but to me, that part of it fuels me, and it just makes me feel good. That's it.
That's genuine. That's genuine Denny Hamlin. Go to 4-shot on this, Richie. I want everybody's opinion on this. When I hear Denny smile and talk like that, he genuinely believes what he's talking about. That's just, I understand it. When I started in radio decades ago, I took things so personal. Now it's just open up the gas tank, fuel it up. if you come at me. Too damn old for you to come at me now. I don't care. Crasher. Think of some of the times people come at you, Crasher. I'd have to lock your hands up to where you couldn't get on social media at the times or just start firing at people on the show.
No, that was message board days.
Sorry.
That was pre-X and pre-anything. Pre-Facebook, it was probably still MySpace time, but oh yeah, those were message boards. Woof. Yeah, I loved firing back at them. Wasn't always the smartest thing to do. Actually, probably never was the smartest thing to do.
Look, man, when
Yeah,
one of the greatest,
now it's like, oh well.
one of the greatest drag racers ever, when she came at Crash Gladys at the top end, that taught Crasher a quick lesson on, you know what? Just let it go. Just let it freaking go. We don't need to get into it, Crasher. We don't need to get it. But asking the youngest individual here, Cole, what if somebody comes at you heavy on Speed Freaks X, saying you don't know what the hell you're talking about?
I mean, I'll quote Juan Soto here from the New York Mets.
Oh, my God.
He said, if they're not booing, you're doing something wrong. So the same applies to if you have haters, people telling you you're not doing something right. It must mean you're doing something right. So if someone comes at me, I'm just going to keep doing me. I know what I'm doing is right, and that's that.
Oh, it's so fearful, man.
Hey, Denny he unveiled this banner after the race,
Right.
like after he'd won it. It was 11 against the world. Is that what it was?
Yep.
11 against the world. Like, for some reason, he's playing up the underdog thing. Denny, you're not an underdog. You're one of the top 20 in wins now, right, Cole? I think with his win today,
Yeah, I mean, this very much was vintage Denny Hamlin.
Yeah.
He led 69% of the race.
Nice!
Very nice.
Nice!
His 55th win overall ties him 11th all time.
Yes, 11th all time. So he's not an underdog. Denny, you're not. Stop playing the underdog role, bro. You are not an
But hold
underdog. It's
on.
not 11 against the world.
Is that playing the underdog, or is that just understanding he's got haters? I mean, he was clearly the loudest of the boos today at driver intros. Do you think it's just him against his haters? Like, I don't care. I'm against you, and I don't care.
It's playing into the villain factor, in my opinion. He did the same thing back at Bristol when he said, I beat your favorite driver. And this might be a very hot take here, but I think NASCAR is at its best when Denny Hamlin's winning because people are talking about it. And, I mean, I know he has no championships, but he's easily one of the best drivers of all time. He's proven that. But, yeah, when Denny's winning, the sport's at its best. That's my
Okay, hold
firm
on.
opinion.
Statistics aside here, I'm not saying this because of race wins and championships or any of that. But personality-wise and perception-wise, is Denny Hamlin Intimidator 2.0?
Oh, stop it.
Crash.
Oh, my
I'm
God.
not saying it because of statistics.
Jesus.
He clearly doesn't have any championships. But when I saw him walking across that stage today and the boos were so loud, I thought, damn, that's reminiscent of Dale Sr.
One more stat in mentioning the Intimidator. His 6th win tied him 5th all time at Martinsville with Dale Earnhardt, as well as Kel Yarborough and Fred Lorenzen. So he's in that territory.
I didn't realize it had been 10 years since Hamlin won at Martinsville. That's
neither.
bananas to me.
Yeah. 2008 to 2025, he's been winning races at Martinsville. It's pretty shocking. 3 different generations of cars as well. So
We got one more from Denny?
we do. Yeah. So Kelly Crandall at Racer.com
Bang.
actually asked if this win felt better because he was able to win at Martinsville
Scratched my head
again.
and I
Hold on. Hold on a second.
No, keep going.
He
Cole.
was able to win at Martinsville again, or because it was 31 races since his last win at Dover last year.
I scratch my head, and I study this racetrack more now than I ever have in my career. It was way easier to win, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, when it was me, Jimmy, and Jeff. It just, I knew it was going to be the three of us. Our cars were good. We had the feeling. We just were better than everyone else, and it was easy. I didn't have to put in all the work that I do now. But it just was aggravating to be the next best at this track for the last 5 years. Like, just never having it. The it is like the ability to control a race, run as fast as you need to lead the race, and pull away when you want. And today we had it. And so that's what feels.
Denny Hamlin post-race after Martinsville, and again, it had it's studying the race. I get all of that. But as a fan, it was a freaking sleeper. When Clint, Kevin, and Mike Joy are spending 5 minutes talking about, look at the rubber around the track. Look at the rubber around the track. I understand that. I've been in situations where I'm calling a race and I've got to just freaking ad lib for minutes, and it's horrible. And if you're not a great shooting from the hip type personality on air, it is just tough. Look at all the rubber on the track. Look at all the rubber on the track. I don't know what else you do, guys. Cole Cusimano, what do you do to bring some of the Jones back to Martinsville?
It's an easy answer. Bring the option tire there.
Please.
Why not? I don't know why NASCAR is not bringing the option tire to every short track we go to this year, seeing as how successful it was in Phoenix from a visual perspective.
Do they have enough?
That's a good question.
Right?
Yeah. That played into a factor of it.
Working with General Tire for so many years, I know. I sound like freaking Christopher Walken. I know what it takes to turn tires once they're developed. I'm just curious. Sorry to interrupt your flow.
No, you're good.
But do they have enough? Because it certainly looked like that might be a quick fix for a lot of these napsters
I would
moving
assume
forward.
that's probably why they aren't doing it. But at the same point, like, they brought a softer tire to Martinsville, and we were talking about it earlier, me, Richie, and Cody. Like, it was not a visually compelling race, but I still felt like it did feel like there was more going on compared to years past. For me, it did. And that's evidenced by my green flag stats. So
That's true.
This
Cherry
race at
picked- he
Martinsville
cherry-picked that one,
had
too.
the second most green flag passes behind the most recent race in the fall last year. So
I'll fix your problem, NASCAR. Stop going to tracks twice in one season.
Been saying that for years.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's a reason why the fall race is better, because it matters, and every position matters, and people are trying to the championship race. And the spring race, nobody cares. So none of these positions matter. Back to you, Kitty.
Thank you. I like Cole's comparison. That's like me trying to say, I'm going to find ways to show you that my 11-year-old daughter is a better soccer player than Messi. Let's do this, Freak Nation. Conor Zillisch will join us. Let's move him to the last segment. I want to talk about that Xfinity Series race and the bananas that came out of that freaking thing Saturday night. Deal?
Let's do it.
All right.
Works for me.
Conor Zillisch coming up, Graham Rahal, and Rico Abreu. More Freaks next.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Freak Nation, get this. General Tire has launched a comprehensive Shield Plus Advantage plan for passenger and light truck tires. What that means for you is when you purchase General Tires, the Shield Plus Advantage plan lets you enjoy a complete package of multiple warranties and coverage to get the most from your tires. The plan applies to all General Tire passenger and light truck tires purchased as replacements in the U.S. and Canada with DOT serial numbers. For more information, hit them up on GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire of Speed Freaks for 2 decades.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-551-3241. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-551-3241. That's 800-551-3241.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Keeping your pride and joy perfect is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Start with Slick Mist Speed Wax. Simply mist on and wipe off for a professional detailer shine. For your tires and trim, there's Lucas Slick Mist Tire and Trim Shine. Spray on and wipe off for better than new look. Then finish her with Lucas Slick Mist Interior Detailer. Just spray and wipe. Easy. Use Lucas Slick Mist Car Care products and she'll never look better. Fast, easy, and professional. Really. It's sort of like having an extra set of hands. Or 3.
They walk among us, but at 240 miles per hour, they become something more. They're thrill seekers, risk takers, and maybe just a little bit unhinged. Buckle up. This This new era of speed, this racing revolution, it's just getting started.
Lowe's knows that your deadlines don't change, even when your job does. But with Lowe's Buy Online, Pick Up in Store, we'll help you adjust on the fly. And when you absolutely can't leave the project, we can deliver to your job site as soon as same day. Lowe's knows pros. We help, you save. Valid on eligible in-stock orders and select zip codes placed by 2 p.m. for same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. More terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Well, Freak Nation, it's that time of the year when General Tire would like to hand you some cold, hard cash. Now through the end of April, purchase a set of 4 qualifying passenger tires from General Tire and get up to $80 back on a Visa prepaid card. Plus, if you purchase the 4 qualifying passenger tires with your General Tire credit card, you can get up to an additional $80 added to your Visa prepaid card. For more information, hit them up, GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire speed freaks for over 2 decades.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Freak Nation, head to GeneralTire.com to find out how you can get up to $80 back with a Visa prepaid card when you buy 4 qualifying tires from General Tire. That's right. Head to GeneralTire.com. Now through the end of April, bam, get some bucks back when you buy a new set of rubbers. Go to GeneralTire.com. That's GeneralTire.com. We've got a couple of polls up on X at Speed Freaks, by the way. More entertaining Martinsville race. Cup Series, Xfinity Series, Truck Series. Overwhelming, it was the Xfinity Series. And if you didn't catch it, well, then you probably have no idea what the hell we're about to talk about. But shame on you, because the CW and their Xfinity Series coverage is badass. The dude's in the booth. Kuhn is she's in the pits, right?
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah. I enjoy the hell out of that broadcast, man. It's raw. They're telling me things that I don't know in verbiage that I can understand. All right, so here we go. The Xfinity Series race ended not how it ended. A lot of us thought it shouldn't have ended, and it was a punt from Sammy Smith driving for Junior Motorsports.
There it is.
All right, you can see it. And Cole noticed it right out of the gate. If you're watching this on Racer Network or YouTube, you'll see the hood of Sammy Smith. It's up about 6 inches towards the windshield, the front windshield, because he punted Taylor Gray so hard in that left rear to get him out of the way for the win. But who wants to take the lead? Richie, you want to take the lead on this? Did I hear this right? It all stemmed from Taylor Gray flipping off Sammy Smith?
It did. So let's actually start with that. I'll start with that clip. So front stretch ended up talking to Sammy Smith after the race and explained that, yes, there was some flippage going on between the two and yipping yapping back and forth because there were multiple incidences between these two guys going on. So here's Sammy Smith after the race with front stretch.
He just has no respect for me, and he was flipping me off under the red flag, swerving at my door. I moved him into one. He still had to lead those 2 restarts, and going on the back straightaway, I thought to myself, what would he do in this situation? And he would have done the exact same thing. So, he's flipping me off, and that right there was the line for me to ultimately make the decision I made. He said he wants to go at it. I mean, we can go at it if he wants, but I think at the end of the day, it's probably gonna...
Yeah, he said if you want to go at it, we can go at it. But here's the thing: they didn't go at it because Jordan Bianchi was in the garages. Shout out Jordan with the Athletic, and he actually caught the little altercation. Hopefully I don't think there are any F-bombs, S-bombs dropped in this extravaganza. But here's this. There they are. We can talk over this too. If you're listening to us on radio, they're trying to go at it and trying to find each other, but there are multiple security members with NASCAR in between the two of them there to stop them from throwing any punches. So there were no punches thrown, but they did go after each other a little bit, and they did not throw actual fisticuffs here. So here's my question to you guys before we move on to hearing from some other drivers.
Right.
Denny Hamlin tweeted out on Saturday night after the race this. He said, Martinsville is a track that could use an avoidable contact penalty. Dale Earnhardt Jr. adding in, this racetrack is historic in the grand scheme of all things NASCAR and deserves better. Denny replying, it takes one penalty and this S will stop for short term, that is. Got to send a message. So my question to you, and this is how I was thinking about things, which is Denny wants to put this in the hands of NASCAR to make these calls, whether it be like Formula One, I would make that example, which is they tend to make calls right as it happens, and they hand out penalties from in-race stewards right as it's happening. Do you trust NASCAR to make these calls in real time? Because I don't. I do not trust NASCAR one bit to make these calls in real time whatsoever. I'd rather have exactly what happened on Saturday night, 10 times out of 10, which all that was just hard, short track racing from inexperienced drivers. That's all that was, and it was entertaining as hell. And that's what I want from NASCAR.
Richie, they've got to start somewhere. And I know we can't go to 4 shots, right? We can't.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. They've got to start somewhere. So I think they do need to jump into it. But the problem is they can't get it right when they've got days to get it right. That's the problem. So imagine them trying to get it right in 30 seconds or 15 seconds, how difficult that is. And from a series that says they don't listen to their fans, yes, they do. They've made decisions because of the fans, because of the press. Mm-hmm. So they've got to start somewhere. Richie, we're so far along in technology, it's got to start. They've got to make those decisions. We can't wait till Tuesday or Wednesday for
I agree. Yes, they have to start making those decisions. But my point is, I don't trust NASCAR that they will ever be consistent and that they will ever make the right calls. I don't. I'd rather have it be boys have at it and let the drivers decide for themselves what's going on. Because when you start, I don't like Formula One for that reason too. They stick their hands in just about everything, and it's always annoying. Drivers figure this out. That's all. That's what I want to see. I want the drivers to figure this out. I don't want the grubby. I think it was Kyle Busch a couple weeks ago who was like, "Hey, we shouldn't have suit and ties making these decisions." And I don't trust the suit and ties upstairs in NASCAR to be making in-race decisions one bit.
You trust the drivers, a little vigilante justice on the track with 3,500, 4,000-pound sleds to be the cooler heads, Richie, when they've been buzzing around a track for 3.5 hours?
They're not going to be cooler heads whatsoever. No, of course not. But that's not my point. It was more entertaining, and and these drivers are smart enough. These Cup drivers are smart enough. Maybe the Xfinity and truck guys are a little bit different, but these guys are smart. They know how to drive. They wouldn't have these rides if they didn't know how to drive.
The hell are you talking about? You saw the ending of the Xfinity Series race.
That was short track racing, Kenny.
No, it's not.
That was.
Not when you have millions of short track racing. Yes, in the backwoods of Bama and Florida, not on the big stage of Martinsville. You can't do that.
I mean, if I could jump in here, I
don't think Crash can hear us right now. Do you have Crash potted down, Richie?
No, Crash is up. I don't know.
Okay.
Tech issues.
To answer your question, Richie, I think that this is exactly what NASCAR wants, actually, is for all this beating and banging and bumpers being used, because you look at all the promos, it's a bunch of crashes, it's a bunch of freaking, wrecks and whatnot. So people are talking about it. It's entertaining. It's not what the Cup race was and lack of passing. So I would argue that NASCAR wants what they saw to an extent on Saturday. Obviously, you don't want that being the case for the last 50 laps, maybe the last 20 laps or so, but I kind of agree with what Denny was saying post-race in that NASCAR has a black flag. Use the black flag.
Yep.
If it's that blatant and you're putting someone's race at risk in a really blatant manner, then throw it. But NASCAR wants.
I'm all about short track racing, Richie. Don't get me wrong, but that was a douchey freaking move. That was almost Austin Dillon-esque what Sammy Smith did to Gray. You saw the front hood of Gray pop up 6 or 7 inches because he hit him so damn hard. I went back and looked at it to see if he lifted the rear end of Gray coming out of turn 3, was it? Yeah, coming out of turn 3 to punch him out of the way.
It was aggressive.
Yeah.
It was aggressive. It was aggressive, and it was going for a win. And that's what I want to see in this sport, man. It was like I said, I'd rather have this and a guy punting somebody out of the way. Look, I said this with Austin Dillon last year. That was what Dale Earnhardt was famous for. One of the most famous things in the history of NASCAR is I'm here to rattle his cage on Terry Labonte. And it is like sainthood level in the history of NASCAR quote. But Sammy Smith can't do a little, can't do a little door knocking like that. Come on.
Door knocking?
Yeah.
That dude was freaking trying to move the house and the roof, man.
Hey, Cole, you did mention real quick, you did mention Denny Hamlin talked about this after the race. So let's get Denny Hamlin's perspective on this. This is Denny Hamlin weighing in on the madness that was Xfinity on Saturday night.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about it a little bit tomorrow, but it's, certainly I think that the sanctioning body needs to get involved a little bit and step in on egregious things. I think it's up, right? It's, we've seen this stuff and it used to only happen on green, white checkers. And then this place, it seemed like inside 20 to go, people would lose their minds. And then those guys yesterday did it with 50 to go, just absolutely just creaming each other. And so it just was horrible driving by most of the people out there. And not a good look. And certainly you shouldn't be able to just wipe someone out egregiously like what happened at the end of the race yesterday. That, certainly we have a black flag for a reason, and I think we should start using it.
Dude, don't get me wrong. I enjoy aggressive racing, but that was such a punk move. And then to hear Sammy Smith talk about doing it because he flipped me off. How many people flipped me off on the freaking freeway? Get him out of here, you son of a... Settle down. He flipped me off. Now, if he starts telling about how ugly your freaking girlfriend is or your future baby's just a freaking gnarly-looking troll, okay, go after him. But he flipped you off. That was that's what ignited it, Sammy? I don't know how NASCAR, I know Cole disagrees with me. I know we got to go to break. I don't know how NASCAR doesn't punish Sammy Smith this week for that freaking punk-ass move. Put Cole on the camera real quick. 10 seconds. Go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He didn't win the race, so I feel like they're not going to penalize him. And it wasn't something where, like, Gray wrecked hard and potentially could have got injured. So, yeah.
Right. Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
For more than 30 years, Lucas Oil Products has been solving some of the most difficult mechanical problems in the automotive, marine, and industrial industries. From our original Core 4 product, the oil stabilizer, power steering, stop leak, transmission fix, and fuel treatment, we have now developed over 400 custom products to help solve some of the world's toughest mechanical issues. Go to lucasoil.com to see what we have in store for you. Lucas Oil, it works.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-551-3241. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-551-3241. That's 800-551-3241.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Well, Freak Nation, it's that time of the year when General Tire would like to hand you some cold, hard cash. Now through the end of April, purchase a set of 4 qualifying passenger tires from General Tire and get up to $80 back on a Visa prepaid card. Plus, if you purchase the 4 qualifying passenger tires with your General Tire credit card, you can get up to an additional $80 added to your Visa prepaid card. For more information, hit them up, GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire speed freaks for over 2 decades.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit options for cancel.
Call for your free info kit. 800-620-8844. 800-620-8844. 800-620-8844.
Walk among us, but at 240 miles per hour, they become something more. They're thrill seekers, risk takers, and maybe just a little bit unhinged. Buckle up. This new era of speed, this racing revolution, it's just getting started.
From the labs at Lucas Oil Products, Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment is a multifunctional cleaner plus lubricant. For every fill-up of gas or diesel, add one 16-ounce can of Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment. One bottle can treat a tank of up to 21 gallons. Its special additives allows a better fuel burn to help increase your miles per gallon. Expect longer engine life, longer oil life, cleaner exhaust, and less fuel consumption. Lucas Oil, it works.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Freak Nation, coming up next hour, Graham Rahal will join us here in the Freak Nation. He's got a lot to say about the negativity being thrown at IndyCar. He'll be here. Also, Rico Abreu. We caught up with him post high limit racing in Central Arizona. He'll be joining us here in the second hour. But now it's Conor Zillisch. Dude is a phenomenal race car driver. He's 19 years old. He cannot grow a full beard, according to Conor Zillisch. And in this interview, he gets Kyle Busch some advice. Find out why and how he gives the two-time NASCAR Cup Series champion some advice. Always enjoy it when this young man rolls the Freak Nation. Conor Zillisch now, Speed Freaks Pits, Lucas Oil Studios. Freak Nation, he is back with the Freaks. Conor Zillisch, who back in the day when he was winning races coming from behind the TA2 class at Detroit, we had you on the show, and we just saw something special about you. Then we had you on the second time, Conor, and there was word out there that you were going to sign up with a NASCAR team. You wouldn't lead us on to it. And we said Junior Motorsports. Ha! That was months before you signed. Did you know when we asked you that?
Yeah, I knew.
Oh, you bastard.
I knew. Yeah, I can't tell you everything, but I didn't tell you no. I'll say that. So I gave you a hint.
Along with joining a team like that, I know it's fresh into the season, but there's got to be some tension. Is there tension already? Has Junior yelled at you, screamed at you yet?
I've been yelled at. I've been. He definitely gave me a word of advice, but no, it's been a lot of fun getting to race with JRM. A lot of great teammates and people in that building. A lot of good drivers have gone through that building. So yeah, it's been an honor to race for Dale, and I'm excited for the rest of the season, knowing that we've already got at least a win under our belt and locked into the playoffs.
You're pulling double duty. Not at every racetrack, but for a lot of the season. And I want to know, who's the better boss? Is it Dale Jr. or is it Justin Marks?
Oh, that's a tough question. It doesn't get much better than Dale and Justin, I'll say that much. So I'm definitely lucky to have both of them. It's cool to have Dale. He gives a lot of racing advice of his past and all the racing he did in his time in NASCAR. And then Justin, he's just so forward thinking, and he's also a racer himself. So he chimes in every now and then and gives you some advice. But it's really cool to have both of them. Justin's one of the best businessmen in the sport, and Dale as well. But also having Dale's racing background is really cool too.
It seems obvious that your relationship with Trackhouse came together because of Trans Am and because of Justin having an interest over there and driving over there as well. Is it that obvious, or was it a lot harder?
It took a lot, but that was definitely, kind of Justin and I's first step into, becoming, me becoming a part of Trackhouse. When I was teammates with him in TA, and, we really got to be close and hang out for an entire weekend. That was definitely the start of it.
I'm just watching you again. I will never forget ago when we first had you on. You're a very easy interview. You speak very well. And then I see you out there with the fans. Who again taught you all this on how to be so, for lack of a better word, suave with just the entire industry?
Yeah, it's just kind of me and who I am. I love, getting to meet people and, there's so many fans out there that have unique stories and, that's kind of what keeps me entertained and interested in, being them and, also, interviews and stuff. I had to grow up at a very young age. I've been doing this for a long time. As young as I am, I've been doing it for basically my whole life. So, I've gotten used to it pretty quickly. And I spent a lot of time in Europe by myself and didn't have my parents with me. So I was forced to grow up at a young age. And that's kind of just a lot of what has made me, the person I am today.
The European scene is seemingly quite different than it is here. Media is different over there. Do you like being back? I would imagine, yes, you're an American, but can you explain the differences between the stress of being in Europe, especially by yourself, and then here?
Yeah, it's a much different world, and racing in F1 and racing go-karts over there. All the kids that I used to race against are now on their way to F1, with some being in F1. So it's pretty crazy to see how it was definitely eye-opening to see how different of an experience it was over there versus here. And there's so many different culture shocks that you get when you go over there. But it was really good for me to go over there and learn a lot as a kid, and I definitely grew up a lot and learned a ton from it.
This is awesome. Okay, Kenny, I see you. You're chomping at the bit. You got to get the microphone. What you don't see in Europe as much as you see here is pranking, and some of you drivers having fun with each other. You and Jesse Love, man, what is going on? He has pictures of you sleeping in cars. What's up with that? How are you going to get him back?
Oh, I've gotten him back enough. It's I'm winning that battle, and Jesse and I are really good friends. We're best friends, and with this comes it's not all just lovey-dovey and being best friends. We gotta mess with each other. More than we probably should, but it's cool to have someone like company at the racetrack. And when it's time to put the helmet on, it's a different story. But as soon as we get off the racetrack, we're back to being friends again.
I'm surprised Crasher didn't bring up the fact that I think Dario Franchitti and Tony Kanaan, someone pissed in their freaking seat before they got in the damn. Anyway, we're not going to go there.
No, you're right. That was Dario. Or, I don't know. But that's what you do in IndyCar. It's racing. When the car comes back at Indianapolis from the pits to the garages, you got a crew member that sits in there, and the drivers are like, okay, are we ready? And then he comes in for his pit in, and he goes to the bathroom, and the crew member sits in it, and,
Welcome to IndyCar.
Yeah, no thanks. I'm good here.
What you're doing isn't lost on the freaks and many people at such a young age, kicking ass. You put yourself in a freaking golf cart with no wheels, you're still going to win. Be honest with me. Your humility is apparent. But a veteran driver come up to you and go, dude, what are you doing? Have they asked for advice from you yet?
No, nobody has asked me for advice. Kyle Busch, I was talking to him before the race at COTA, and he was asking for advice for his kid and how he should take his career with Brexton, and Brexton's going to be really good one day, and it was cool to talk to him about kind of his future and what his plans are with Brexton. But no, nobody's asked me for racing advice for themselves yet. I don't think any NASCAR driver has the everyone's ego. All of our egos are way too high to ask another driver for advice.
What's the one thing that's going to just take you to go over the edge and burn? What's going to aggravate you? Because you're so low-key and, again, humble. What's the one thing that's going to aggravate Skipjack here to get fired up?
Probably someone going slow in the left lane on the road. There's not much. I mean, it'd take a lot to get me pissed off. And when I'm pissed off, it's probably not a good thing.
Let's say a driver does what Austin Dillon did to get in the playoffs and runs right through you to get the win. What are you going to do?
Oh, I might be pissed off then, but yeah, that's a story for another time. Until that happens, I guess you won't know.
One of the unique things about this garage is you have so many guys that won championships, are well respected throughout motorsports. Give me a couple of drivers that you thought, oh shit, there's Jimmy Johnson or there's Joey Logano. Who are the drivers that you thought I can't wait to meet these guys?
I'd say, guys like Denny, he's such a personality and done a lot for the sport, as co-owner in a team, still races himself for Joe Gibbs. And, he's a big name in our sport. And then, Martin Truex, while he was still a part of it, he was a guy that I always kind of looked up to, and he's been around for a long time since I was a kid. Kevin Harvick, he's a guy that I grew up watching on TV, and he was really successful. So there's a bunch of guys, and especially some that I got to race against for the first time last week as well, which was really cool. And I'm excited to hopefully race against them a couple more times.
Who are some of the guys that you looked up to?
It's hard not to say, Lewis Hamilton, especially when I was over there. That's when he was really dominant in F1. And, he was in a league of his own for a few years there. And then now Max, it's pretty crazy what he's doing. And, his take no shit attitude is definitely something that I admire of him. But at the same time, it can, that can lead you to some problems as well. So, there's a bunch of guys over there that have a lot of talent. Hopefully, one day I'll get to see our worlds and their worlds clash in one way or another. That'd be really cool.
Okay, and then who do you think you drive like, or who your personality is like out of NASCAR and Formula One? Who are you most like?
I got asked this, and I didn't really know. I said Jimmy, but I haven't won as much as Jimmy yet, so I got to win a few more races before I can be a Jimmy. But I feel like Jimmy was a super laid-back, just easygoing guy, and kind of won not in silence. He was never making big, making storylines. Like he was just winning and doing his thing, and working hard. And I feel like I kind of admire that about him.
Okay, you brought up golf carts earlier. Just don't get on a golf cart. He fell off one.
So. Yeah. Well, I've done my fair share of crashing golf carts. So,
well, you aren't eligible to drink and drive golf cart right now. So we'll just leave it at that. Hey, all right, we'll leave you with this. First time we had you on, talked about your dropping, and you could not grow a full beard. Yeah. Can you grow a full beard now?
This is about as much as I can get, which isn't much, but give me a few more years. Maybe, that was about almost 2 years ago. So maybe in 2 years, if you talk to me again, maybe by then I can grow a beard, but still no.
Love that guy. Conor Zillisch here in the Freak Nation. My apologies to our radio affiliates. A couple of S-bombs in there. We'll certainly clean it up for our friends at Racer Network before it debuts tomorrow morning at 12 p.m. Eastern and Pacific. Conor Zillisch, dude, is just a badass, a young badass. I bet a lot of folks have faith that he's going to be romping and rolling through the Xfinity Series and into Cup full-time here sooner than later. Coming up next hour, Graham Rahal has a lot to say. So much so, we're going to have a two-parter with the IndyCar Series pilot. He'll be in here. And Rico Abreu. Dirt boogers, he just deals with them in sprint cars. That's coming up. Speed Freaks Pits, Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
From the labs at Lucas Oil Products, Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment is a multifunctional cleaner plus lubricant. For every fill-up of gas or diesel, add one 16-ounce can of Lucas Oil Complete Engine Treatment. One bottle can treat a tank of up to 21 gallons. Its special additives allows a better fuel burn to help increase your miles per gallon. Expect longer engine life, longer oil life, cleaner exhaust, and less fuel consumption. Lucas Oil, it works.
Freak Nation, get this. General Tire has launched a comprehensive Shield Plus Advantage plan for passenger and light truck tires. What that means for you is when you purchase General Tires, the Shield Plus Advantage plan lets you enjoy a complete package of multiple warranties and coverage to get the most from your tires. The plan applies to all General Tire passenger and light truck tires purchased as replacements in the U.S. and Canada with DOT serial numbers. For more information, hit them up on GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire of Speed Freaks for 2 decades.
They walk among us, but at 240 miles per hour, they become something more. They're thrill seekers, risk takers, and maybe just a little bit unhinged. This new era of speed, this racing revolution, it's just getting started.
Lowe's knows that your business is built on speed and trust. That's why the Lowe's Pro Desk is here to get you what you need the moment you need it. We'll help you plan your project, calculate your materials, and pivot when your job takes an unexpected turn. And with our pro-only checkout and dedicated pro parking, you have what you need to tackle your job and be back on the job. And just visit us at the Pro Desk. Lowe's knows pros. We help. You save.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke is. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
There is less than 1/100th of an inch of motor oil protecting your car's engine. Friction and heat causes engine oil to experience thermal breakdown, weakening its ability to protect the engine and its parts. Lucas Heavy Duty Oil Stabilizer is specially formulated to resist thermal breakdown, protect vital engine parts, and extend the life of your engine. It also stops smoking, knocking, and oil consumption in worn engines. Lucas Heavy Duty Oil Stabilizer. Keep that engine alive.
Well, Freak Nation, it's that time of the year when General Tire would like to hand you some cold, hard cash. Now through the end of April, purchase a set of 4 qualifying passenger tires from General Tire and get up to $80 back on a Visa prepaid card. Plus, if you purchase the 4 qualifying passenger tires with your General Tire credit card, you can get up to an additional $80 added to your Visa prepaid card. For more information, hit them up, GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire of Speed Freaks for over 2 decades.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
I mean, come on now. Let's have a little bit of consistency to our reporting.
Nobody has asked me for advice. Kyle Busch, I was talking to him before the race at COTA, and he was asking for advice for his kid.
They know they know to back off and how to tune the car a little differently. It's the Megan tune.
We gotta tune it with the throttle pedal.
Please hang up and try again.
Freak Radio Network, broadcasting from the Lucas Oil Studios. Driven by General Tire. Rock on, baby! It's Speed Freaks. Motorsports Radio redefined with Kenny Sargent.
We love to party.
Crash Gladys.
What are we doing for the bachelorette party?
Here's the Freaks.
Freak Nation, coming up this hour, Graham Rahal, IndyCar Series pilot, will be here in the Freak Nation for a couple of segments. He's got a lot to say. He ain't real happy with some folks that cover the IndyCar Series and probably with us. Some things that we've been saying about the series. He'll be joining us coming up this hour. Also, Rico Abreu, who was in town. I say in town, we're all based in Phoenix. So we caught up with some high-limit racing tonight with an 11-year-old. And if she was here, she'd be giving us her perspective as well. But no, she's not. I'm going to get Cole's take. Richard C. Suave, his first time diving into a big boy high-limit series racing. We'll talk a little bit about that. So a big second hour, Freak Nation. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram. If you're watching us live on YouTube, thank you guys for being a part of it. Official Speed Freaks on YouTube. And we're now part of the Racer Network. It was MAV TV. Over the last week, they announced that they purchased MAV TV. And it's now Racer Network. Racer Magazine was what it was back in the day, racer.com. So, yeah, proud to be a part of the Racer Network, Freak Nation. Quickly here, Richie, you've got a couple of things that I'd like to hit with the snoozer, the Nap Fest that we had at Martinsville. But there are some stats that our friend Jeff Gluck, who covers NASCAR for The Athletic, and a great follow on X for NASCAR Insight, that our crack research staff, all the way from Fort Apache, Arizona, Cody, gave us some insight, right?
Yeah, so we spent the top of the show and the second segment as well. We spent talking about where we thought this race would rank in the Jeff Gluck Good Race poll, and we set the over/under at essentially 47.5%. Kenny believes it's going to be over. You believe that that's where the
yes.
fans are going to vote, albeit all of us believe we would all vote no, personally. I believe, right? I'm not speaking out of turn.
And I still believe NASCAR is going to fine, if not suspend, Sammy Smith. So I'm that guy too.
I
know it, but
that's a completely different conversation. You can go back and watch us on YouTube in the first hour.
Right.
We had that debate, so we can talk about that. But anyway, back to these stats. So anyway, you can find out on Monday. Go vote on Jeff Gluck's poll. Cody pulled up the stats for us here, looking at where Martinsville races of past land on the poll. In my opinion, this is one of the worst. It was just a complete waste of time. There was no drama, like we've already talked about. But it's not the worst. The worst came in the Gen 7 era, and it was the spring race in 2022, where 18.7% voted yes.
Whoa!
18.7% voted yes in that poll. Last year's race, spring race, 31.9%. 2023, 37%. 2021, 88% yes. 58% in 2019. So there's a little bit of a kind of a theme here, which is that the spring race sucks because there are no stakes involved. I mentioned that back in the first hour. And this spring race needs to go. And I'm Crash, and we were talking about this in the first hour. Like, no track again should have two races, and Martinsville Spring 100% proves that theory for me.
Crasher was at the damn race. All right, Crasher, give us your insight when you were sitting there in the infield there at Martinsville.
It is funny because I think when you are in person, it's just a different evaluation, a different input of any sporting event, to be perfectly honest, versus what the TV product is pushing out to the masses. So I actually thought the first two stages were pretty decent. It was the third stage, though, that even being there, I was, I mean, it was domination, which we actually shouldn't get too upset about, especially when Denny hasn't been so dominant as of late, not just at Martinsville, but just at races in general. So, okay, praise the domination every once in a while. But yeah, was it entertaining? Arguably not.
The perspective that we saw with the stands for the Xfinity Series race, it was freaking barren. And again, you see this at Martinsville now, where there's plenty of seats that are empty.
Wait, so you said Xfinity though, Ken?
I did Xfinity that are empty at the Cup race, not Xfinity Series numbers. But listen, they're probably of the same mind that we're talking about. Like, really? I'm going to show up to the freaking spring race and watch this BS? Okay, let's go there for the playoffs. But no, I'm not going to sit there for 3 or 4 hours. Cole Cusimano.
Well, I would be against that only because us living out here in Arizona, we have Phoenix Raceway. Phoenix Raceway sold out prior to this past spring. 7 straight events. That includes spring races. There are 2 races here every single year. So maybe it's a Martinsville problem. Maybe it's a short track package problem. I'm kind of surprised as me just because there is so much history in this track, and short tracks were pretty much the bread and butter of NASCAR back in the day. So I was surprised to see the grandstands bare for this race, especially, and get traction and how good things have been in 2025 from an attendance perspective. But at the same point, I do get what you guys are saying about there being 2 races and kind of like not necessary in a way.
Crasher, was there any discussion? We saw it all last week with the people dropping the paint schemes for the throwback coming up in Darlington. But was there anything like, let's just move on to Darlington so we put this POS to bed?
Oh my goodness. Even before practice started Saturday, the questions going through the media center were all about throwbacks. I mean, okay, all is a little bit of an exaggeration, but I feel like any scrum that I walked up into, it was a Darlington conversation. It was a throwback theme. It was the Darlington stripe. When did you get your first stripe? Those kind of things. And I'm like, where are we this weekend? We're in Martinsville. Why is nobody talking about Martinsville? I mean, it was eventually addressed, but few and far between. Loads of Darlington conversation. So it's interesting you bring that up, Kenny. There was a lot of that. Let's think ahead. What's next? Let's go there now.
Look, we're trying to find a big fat pack of lipstick to put on this Martinsville pig. And we understand.
But then again, it's not a Martinsville pig because, like we've said here numerous times, the fall race, pretty decent. It's just spring doesn't translate like fall does. Is it because the race matters? I would say yes. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, the weather is different as well. And not saying that affects the people in the grandstands, but it does affect the car setups. It's just spring isn't translating. Spring Martinsville isn't translating.
Okay, a Martinsville spring pig. We're trying to put a bunch of freaking lipstick on. Damn, man, semantics. Holy S. You see what I got to live with, guys? Yowzer. How we roll, Freak Nation. Freak Nation. Coming up, Graham Rahal will be joining us here for a couple of segments. IndyCar Series pilot wants to speak his mind here with the Freaks. You like controversy? Be sure you stick around for Graham Rahal. Getting back to the conversation with Martinsville, Denny Hamlin hadn't won there. That surprised the hell out of me. He hadn't won there in 10 years, and he did it today. How many races did they say that was prior to that?
31 races between his last win and this one.
Dude.
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
Why did I pick him?
Pick him?
Yeah.
It's Denny Hamlin in Martinsville. Why wouldn't you pick him?
Yeah.
What? Martinsville 10 years ago. That's the problem.
It doesn't matter. It's still Martinsville. He's got 6 grandfather clocks that are going to be going through all of his hallways on his house on Lake Norman. I mean, that thing, seriously, think about what he has collected there. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter if it was 10 years ago. He's got grandfather clocks galore. Kenny, your favorite home accessory.
Oh, my goodness. We don't need to be digging any rabbit holes with that. A freaking grandfather clock. Oh, get that out of here. Talk about POS. Richie, we've got...
Come on.
We got about a minute here. No, we got actually about 2 minutes there, freaks. If you follow us on X, Freak Nation, you know that you get a shot every week at winning a set of General Tires. In fact, I was just in our last winner's DMs telling them to send us their contact information because they beat our ass a few weeks ago. Was it Daytona where they won, Richie? Do you remember ESPN?
It was, anyway, yeah.
We do give away tires from time to time. You do beat our ass from time to time, Freak Nation, with Beat the Freaks for a set of General Tires. Be sure you follow us on X at Speed Freaks. And do I need to just, go ahead and bring up what our results for this week's Beat the Freaks. Look at that. Look at that. Cole Cusimano coming in dead last. What is that, Cole?
It's nice score right there. Did I really come in last?
Yeah, Cole, can you for our Freaks Raiders, can you please tell us your final score that brought you up dead last?
69.
Nice!
Oh, yeah.
You did that intentionally.
But the boss man right here killed it. He beat you by 4 points.
That's it. Yeah. Hey, I did pretty well. I didn't finish dead last. That's what makes me happy. There was a couple times in Beat the Freaks this year where I finished dead last. Mm-hmm. So the fact that I didn't finish dead last, I'll take that.
And what's awesome is we typically give our picks prior to qualifying. Mm-hmm. So that takes away that advantage. So we still kicked your ass. Who the hell was that? Who did we beat this week? Who was it, Richie?
Their name was JP. That wasn't their handle, but their name was JP on X.
JP's a big-time follower with us on X. Sorry, JP.
He's awesome. That's who our pick was this week. Yeah. He's fun to communicate with.
All right, Crasher.
Good on you. Try again.
Wow. Punch Drunk Crash. She's got to get up at 5 a.m. or actually 3 a.m. His name. Too many drivers out there that will speak their mind, whether it's right, wrong, and different. He speaks his mind, which has been refreshing, 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 refreshing,
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Freak Nation, head to your local General Tire dealership now to check out the latest additions to their product lineup. The Grabber family of tires are engineered for durability and feature innovative performance features that offer all-terrain capability, blending exceptional off-road durability and impressive on-road performance, all while sporting aggressive styling. For outstanding off-road performance coupled with strong street manners, look no further than General Tire. General Tire delivers for whatever you do, and the official tire of Speed Freaks since 2001.
This segment of Speed Freaks is brought to you by BetterHelp. Go to betterhelp.com/speedfreaks now. And for those of you that have experienced therapy in the past, you know the benefits. Good on you. If you haven't, don't let it intimidate you. Therapy is so soothing. It's the way that color and stability can be added to your life. Listen, guys, we're a couple months into 2025. Have those resolutions really been working? Are you where you thought you were going to be? And it's okay to say no, because if not, maybe you need a little extra nudge in your life. Only you have the power to write your own story. And sometimes writing your story requires a little bit of a sidekick. BetterHelp can be that sidekick to help add color to your experiences, to help you with better relationships, to help everything have more meaning in your life. This type of therapy is pretty incredible. You don't have to drive 30 minutes out to a therapist and then drive another 30 minutes back, taxing you 60 minutes out of your day. This is convenient, online, and extremely affordable. Go check it out at betterhelp.com/speedfreaks for 10% off your first month. Add color, add meaning, add a little bit.
Joseph and Pillow. There's a lot of other great people. Forget about me, because as we kind of talked about off air, I'll be very honest with you, I could care less about attention. I've got way better things and more important things to do in my life than worry about if somebody on Twitter likes me or not. Though you've got guys like Will Power who have stood the test of time, that continue to, have exceptional races. You got guys like Scott Dixon. How do you ignore Scott Dixon, the greatest of all time? I understand that Alex Palou is beating Scott Dixon week in and week out nowadays, but that doesn't take away from who he is and what he has done and what he continues to do. But I'm not going to sit and say everything is rosy. I have asked Penske numerous times, Penske Entertainment, about the plan. There's been a lot of changes there. I hope we see more. Okay. I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat that. I don't think that it's fair to rely just solely on Fox. I think Fox is going to do tremendous things for our sport. As I said a minute ago, we're in the early days of Fox. I think that the future is great for what Fox brings to us. I agree on the schedule. 3 weeks. I mean, now we go thermal 3 weeks to Long Beach. Mm-hmm. We run every freaking weekend from then till, the end of August, right? So the schedule is a bit of a head scratcher, but again, like I said a minute ago too, these are things that are predetermined. They were already set a while ago. I guarantee you, if you talk to Doug Bowles now, which let's not forget, Doug's a week onto the job, 2 months. So a lot of these things were set prior. Doug came up to me after the race at Thermal. What do you think? I mean, this is 5 minutes after the race. What do you think? Should we come back here? Should we not? Where do we need to look to go? And so to me, those are things that I look at, like they're aware of it. People have got to be patient. People have got to understand too, that their tone, the media has got to understand that their tone and the way that they go about energizing their groupies is, frankly, has an effect that can be put into a positive spin if they so wish. I'm not saying to fool anybody. What I'm saying is if you look at thermal, you know, and you look at what thermal actually does for us, there's a lot of people that attended thermal that don't get exposed to any of the other IndyCar races that are CEOs of companies, that own companies. I mean, I had friends reach out that are big time CEOs of companies that I do business with that I sell cars to my performance shop and stuff. You know, they're going to the race like, dude, that was amazing. Okay, now those are people that can become sponsors, that can become future team owners. Let's look at it from that perspective. Future team owners. Okay, maybe I'm one of them, whether I want to be or not. I'm not there now, nor do I have any say in that now, whether people believe that or not. You got Roger Penske. Okay, you got Chip Ganassi. You got Bobby Rahal. You got Mike Lanigan. You've got guys that are aging, let's just say. One of the most important things in our sport right now, in motorsports, because if I even look at NASCAR, you got Hendrick, Childress, you know, you've got Joe Gibbs, you know, a lot of guys who are aging. If I look at our sport, the focus of our sport today has to be to create longevity with new partners, new owners, and youth. And thermal, whether people like it or not, it does opportunities to people. I'm not going to name names, but people that were there that are worth tons of money that go, hell, I want to be involved in this. How do I get involved? While it's not ideal, maybe, to some people because there's not 100,000 people, sometimes it takes these things to help move the sport forward. And sometimes those things are not as obvious to the eye as they should be. But I think we've got to keep all of those in mind, and the media could be just as to report that. Guys, you're NHRA fans, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the future of NHRA look like? Let's be honest.
Also aging.
Connie Kalita, John Forrest.
Yep.
John Schumacher is now passed, sadly. Look at the role he had in the sport. You've got, you know, they've got to be concerned.
Graham Rahal's got a lot to say, Freak Nation. That's why we're giving him the platform for a two-parter, Freaks. And we dive even deeper into the issues that are IndyCar, marketing, and then some. And Graham Rahal's not too shy to talk about it. And again, I'm just surprised that other drivers aren't joining the parade with Graham Rahal and speaking out, right or wrong, about how they feel about the IndyCar series for 2025. So yeah, part two of Graham Rahal coming up next, and Rico Abreu, sprint car badass with high limit racing in the Freak Nation, flying those Lucas Oil colors right here in Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
Freak Nation, get this. General Tire has launched a comprehensive Shield Plus Advantage plan for passenger and light truck tires. What that means for you is when you purchase General Tires, the Shield Plus Advantage plan lets you enjoy a complete package of multiple warranties and coverage to get the most from your tires. The plan applies to all General Tire past truck tires purchased as replacements in the U.S. and Canada with DOT serial numbers. For more information, hit them up on GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire of Speed Freaks for 2 decades.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car or with your kids, no matter where you are. Call now. 800-551-3241. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online.com or call 800-551-3241. That's 800-551-3241. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Keeping your pride and joy perfect is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Start with Slick Mist Speed Wax. Simply mist on and wipe off for a professional detail or shine. For your tires and trim, there's Lucas Slick Mist Tire and Trim Shine. Spray on and wipe off for better than new look. Then finish her with Lucas Slick Mist Interior Detailer. Just spray and wipe. Easy. Lucas Slick Mist Car Care products and she'll never look better. Fast, easy, and professional. Really. It's sort of like having an extra set of hands. Or 3.
They walk among us, but at 240 miles per hour, they become something more. They're thrill seekers, risk takers, and maybe just a little bit unhinged. Buckle up. This new era of speed, this racing revolution, it's just getting started.
Lowe's knows that your deadlines don't change, even when your job does. But with Lowe's Buy Online, Pick Up in Store, we'll help you adjust on the fly. And when you absolutely can't leave the project, we can deliver to your job site as soon as same day. Lowe's knows pros. We help, you save. You save. In-stock orders and select zip codes placed by 2 p.m. for same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. More terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heart racing pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Well, Freak Nation, it's that time of the year when General Tire would like to hand you some cold, hard cash. Now through the end of April, purchase a set of 4 qualifying passenger tires from General Tire and get up to $80 back on a Visa prepaid card. Plus, if you purchase the 4 qualifying passenger tires with your General Tire credit card, you can get up to an additional $80 Visa prepaid card. For more information, hit them up, GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire speed freaks for over 2 decades.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
GeneralTire.com. Go to GeneralTire.com to find out how you can get up to $80 as a prepaid card when you buy 4 qualifying tires from our friends at General Tire. We continue on with our friend Graham Rahal, part 2 of Graham Rahal. Sticking up for a series. A lot of people hammering the series, specifically after the thermal race. Crappy ratings, drop out of the broadcast, and some say really just not damn good racing. More with Graham Rahal now. Speed Freaks Pits, Lucas Oil Studios.
I feel like there's a lack of transparency coming from the IndyCar. Like to know that those conversations are indeed being had. It's not your responsibility, Graham. It's not, anybody's responsibility except for Mark Miles, Doug Bowles, and Roger Penske to make sure those people continue to come in and want to invest in the series. So how do we know that's happening?
Well, I can tell you from our side, it's a constant. I mean, that's one of our biggest focuses, day in and day out as a team. I can't speak for other teams. But what I can Rahal, Letterman, Lanigan Racing is our future's great. Between myself, between Patrick Lanigan and the Lanigan family, Alex Wright, who's involved in our team, a very young guy out of Central Ohio, great family. Alex is my age, a little bit older than me. Our future is great. We've worked very hard over the last 24 to 36 months to make sure that our team has that sort of future focus. And so, I feel confident in Penske. Obviously, you've got Greg Penske and others But the next generation of them is going to be great. But, I can't speak for the others, Crash. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think last weekend generated some great conversation. We, with Mobile One, we were fortunate to have a kind of a little cocktail hour, and there was rubbing a lot of elbows with a lot of very impactful people that could be involved in the sport going forward. And whether fans want to believe it or see it or not, IndyCar is very intriguing right now, because actually you can get into IndyCar as a team or buy into an existing team like Coin or something else for for a relatively good deal, compared to any other motorsport, frankly. And so it is an intriguing property for sure.
I'm always I'm old school though. So I go back to the 90s where I freaking loved going Phoenix into Long Beach, and Phoenix was your oval before the Indy 500. I feel like that sort of oval momentum is needed. Car calendar going into the Indy 500 somewhere in the spring. And I know all the excuses. You can't run within 90 days of a NASCAR race, blah, blah, blah.
Okay, so here's my excuse.
Okay.
So you're like every person on Twitter. Every one of them, meaning I hear this day in and day out. So here's my question to you.
This freaking segment is brought to you by our friends at Lucas Oil. Now, what automobile do you have in the garage? I bet Lucas Oil could keep that thing fat and happy and on the road. From everyday car care, heavy-duty trucking to agriculture, hot rods, classic cars, motorcycles, and marine, Lucas Oil has what you need to keep those engines, interiors, and exteriors looking like and running like they're supposed to be. For more information, go to the website, lucasoil.com, and find the perfect Lucas Oil product. Keep your rides on the road. Freak Nation, make your plans now to get yourself a new set of General tires. Fall's here. Winter's coming. Wet weather. You want to make sure you're on a new set of General tires. For more information, check it out at GeneralTire.com. That's GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire of Speed Freaks for over 2 decades.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio, redefined.
As your power steering pump ages, seal leaks may occur, causing the power steering system to lose fluid. Your power steering system may also develop an annoying squeal, and the steering may become more difficult to handle. By using Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak, you will stop the seal leaks, reduce slack in rack and pinion, eliminate the squeals and hard spots in your power steering system. It is guaranteed to stop seal leaks or your money back. Lucas Power Steering Stop Leak. It works.
This segment of Speed Freaks is brought to you by BetterHelp. Go to betterhelp.com/speedfreaks now. And for those of you that have experienced therapy in the past, you know the benefits. Good on you. If you haven't, don't let it intimidate you. Therapy is so soothing. It's the way that color and stability can be added to your life. Listen, guys, we're a couple months into 2025. Have those resolutions really been working? Are you where you thought you were going to be? And it's okay to say no, because if not, maybe you need a little extra nudge in your life. Only you have the power to write your own story. And sometimes writing your story requires a little bit of a sidekick. BetterHelp can be that sidekick to help add color to your experiences, to help you with better relationships, to help everything have more meaning in your life. This type of therapy is pretty incredible. You don't have to drive 30 minutes out to a therapist and then drive another 30 minutes back, taxing you 60 minutes out of your day. This is convenient, online, and extremely affordable. Go check it out at betterhelp.com/speedfreaks for 10% off your first month. Add color, add meaning, add a little bit more happiness to your life. Give yourself that exhale that just helps you get through today, tomorrow, and the next month. That's what you owe yourself this 2025. That's betterhelp.com/speedfreaks, BetterHelp, HELP.com. You owe it to yourself.
Freak Nation, head to your local General Tire dealership now to check out the latest additions to their product lineup. The Grabber family of tires are engineered for durability and feature innovative performance features that offer all-terrain capability, blending exceptional off-road durability and impressive on-road performance, all while sporting aggressive styling. For outstanding off-road performance coupled with strong street manners, look no further than General Tire. General Tire delivers for whatever you do, and the official tire of Speed Freaks since 2001.
Spring forward with real unlimited data from Straight Talk this tax season and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2024 with select plans. So you can stream games during Mad March hours, check the weather for April showers, and watch gardening videos about May flowers. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 4/15/25. Taxes and fees apply. Requires purchase of single line gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
You're listening to Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio Redefined.
Let's be honest, like, what has NASCAR's car count done over the last 10 years?
Down.
Okay. What has NHRA's car count done over the last 10 years?
Down.
What has NHRA's team owners count gone?
Ooh, down.
Okay. What has IndyCar done?
Up.
Exactly.
That's a valid point.
So we can be negative all day long, but we're one of the few sports that has trended in the right direction. So
IndyCar and sports cars. Yep.
let's just continue to see the positives, try to move it forward.
Freak Nation, Graham Rahal. There's about another 10 or 15 minutes of that, Freak Nation. We will have that up on our website tomorrow, where you can listen to full 25, 30 minutes with Graham Rahal, IndyCar Series pilot, where he's fighting back to some of those in the media that may not agree with what the hell he's talking about. But it's a driver's perspective, which I give him credit for coming at you and showing his or giving you his opinion versus sitting back and letting people just hammer the series. I'm not saying he's right, he's wrong, but I just like the fact that drivers will come forward with something to say. Coming up next, Rico Abreu, high limit series, badass, flying those Lucas Oil colors. Love this guy. We caught up with him in Arizona. He joins us next. Speed Freaks Pits, Lucas Oil Studios.
Speed Freaks, Motorsports Radio Redefined.
For more than 30 years, Lucas Oil Products has been solving some of the most difficult mechanical problems in the automotive, marine, and industrial industries. From our original Core 4 product, heavy-duty oil stabilizer, power steering, stop leak, transmission fix, and fuel treatment, we have now developed over 400 custom products to help solve some of the world's toughest mechanical issues. Go to lucasoil.com to see what we have in store for you. Lucas Oil, it works.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-551-3241. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-551-3241. That's 800-551-3241. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Well, Freak Nation, it's that time of the year when General Tire would like to hand you some cold, hard cash. Now through the end of April, purchase a set of 4 qualifying passenger tires from General Tire and get up to $80 back on a Visa prepaid card. Plus, if you purchase the 4 qualifying passenger tires with your General Tire credit card, you can get up to an additional $80 added to your Visa prepaid card. For more information, hit them up, GeneralTire.com. General Tire, the official tire of Speed Freaks for over 2 decades.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free. The straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-620-8844, 800-620-8844, 800-620-8844.
Walk among us, but at 240 miles per hour, they become something more. They're thrill seekers, risk takers, and maybe just a little bit unhinged.